Hey, one divine orb every map? That's what's up. I'm gonna run out of my really great maps though soon. But for the time being, I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna take it. Might have procced a precursor on this one. What a breach, dude. Oh. Oh my god, another one. Yo, dude, yo. Stealing candy from babies right now, man. What the heck? Yeah, 4 tinks. Short time. Let's do another breach. Yeah, anyway, guys, we're here, Snoo here, and we're going to do a take 3 of breach farming. That's right, we're going back to breach land. I mean, I'm doing it again because they keep changing the game. More loot this time, or better breaches, I guess. First, we had the default, 0.2, then we had 0.2G, I think it was, that gave us a bunch more loot, or maybe it was F. And then now we have 0.2H, which improved the density of breach, kind of bringing it back in line with what we had before. Yeah, everybody keeps emphasizing the splinters, but they're not really worth that much. I'm in it for the density and the increased number of rares and the increased amount of divine orbs that will result in that. Well, there you have it. I mean, I kind of talked about the target and divine orbs primarily. Would like to see some tier 0 uniques again. You know, we're getting a lot of kills on rares. We're going to be pumping those up a lot. So definitely some opportunity to get... I mean, we'll drop a bunch of Tangle Tongues and corrupt them and see what happens. So a lot of mid-tier uniques, a lot of higher tier. This Fall of the Axe is worth like 70 div now. Headhunter's still up there. So plenty of opportunity for jackpot on the good old reliable breach farm. Obviously feel a certain way about that, but anyway, we have an Atlas here, and same as before, exact same as before with the breach and all that stuff. So full emphasis on Waystone modifier, pack size, increased number of rares, precursor effect, and still doing Zesh Madness. I think it's fine, especially with the character strength that I have. Should be okay. Now, we got all the Waystones here. I have some special Waystones, especially High Delirious, I've put it aside, because I'm going to run these on the cleansed maps. I do have one major cleanse zone, and I want to kind of focus on those, because I saw some really good stuff happen last time. With that, a lot of unique precursors, and yeah, just extra divines and stuff. A couple of maps that maybe have Delirium Mirrors missing Delhi here. My Temp Chains maps, just made a video on this recently, so at some point I'll respec into Temp Chains, nullifying that, so to speak. And then the rest of them are here, basically just, yeah, just a different assortment of high rarity quant, increased number of rares, pack size, all the good stuff, all the good stuff. Still going to be valuing this at 17x per. Okay, investment is ready. Now here's the deal. Divine orbs are worth like very little, and the omens have not changed a whole lot. I suppose the investment cost is a little bit more than what I originally set out to make in that long time ago video, so I haven't really looked into that deeply and how much it's costing. I've also changed how I'm rolling maps a bit. I'm rolling them for Citadel maps, I'm rolling them for ritual maps, I started doing ritual and stuff, and I'm rolling them for Magic Finder breach maps, and depending on how they roll is what I'm going for. And this effectively has reduced the cost of investment costs of rolling maps for anything, because I'm rolling them 3 different ways depending on how they roll. For example, like really high pack size but missing rarity, I'm going to roll that for a ritual map. If I got like 110% Waystone chance, just in suffixes, probably just going to roll that for Citadel map, right? And then, you know, everything else the way it is. So it's made the process of rolling maps a lot cheaper across the board by doing that. I may come out with a future video if there's some interest in that. 3 ways to roll maps in one. Something like that. It's kind of complicated. I may have to figure that out. But I did do some chaos spam on these maps a little bit because I really want to try some high deli on the cleansed zone, which we'll look at in a second. And so I've added about 5 divines there. Also adding about 5 divines in these precursors because I have a 6 tower setup today, not 4. And I did actually go out of my way to buy a few of these quant breachstone setups. And then like the usual cost of Visions of Paradise is 3 div. So between all of the maps, a little bit extra in rolling for these premium high deli maps, a little bit extra for a few extra magic precursors, and the Visions of Paradise, putting the total investment cost around 20 divine. 20.2 divines is what I have down here. So this is a higher investment cost than any time before. But the maps I have are definitely a little bit better rolled than any other time before. And check out this tower setup here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the thing is, these 2 over here are not going to be all that impactful out in this middle section because they're getting cucked by this giant river, which is part of the reason why I have 6 towers, because there's a river. Apparently they like to spawn near bodies of water, which is why a lot of you get frustrated when you actually find good tower setup. They always seem to be water. That's about the only way to spawn a bunch of towers in the same place is if it's through a river. But I will go ahead and plug these in. And so I'm going to put a leapfrog grand project in here to get to that real quick, because as you can see, there's not a super quick path. Well, I mean, I guess it's fine. Whatever. Getting some irradiated here would be a good idea. I'll put a leapfrog here to get up to this one. This will be the most important tower. Visions of Paradise will go here. All of my best precursors will go here. And we'll be irradiating a little bit here with some grand projects, and the Visions of Paradise should irradiate every single thing here to get the double chance to roll. We'll cleanse this first, and then all this other stuff on the side, we got, you know, some different precursors set up. I'm about to decide exactly how I'm going to set these up, but I can tell you that these 3 are together. I already know what I'm doing with these, so let me go ahead and put these in. Oh, look at this beautiful cleansed zone. Yes, check it out. All the towers are done. So I got up to, I think the highest number I got is 51 quant, 18 rarity, 7 pack. And my best maps are going to be all in this middle area. That's how it is. Woot. Like if the build was actually popular, it might even be easier to get a weapon. Because you can find, I'm sure you can find tons of, you know, spiked spears. Another chance orb? Dude, where are my divines, man? What the heck? There. Get wild, man. Should just be spitting out divines right and left. On these maps. Realize how dependent this build is on the leech when you run one of those expeditions and get no leech. Hey, we got a divine orb. What do we get? Oh, very low quant too. Wow. 46%. Triple chaos. Triple? Okay. I think I'll do the boss before the expedition. Magic mob. Magic mob drops the divine. What? Whoa! Tier 5s galore. 52. Oh, I heard that. See that red star way off there? I need some light radius, bro. Dude, the Forge Breach. The Forge Breach. Oh, what? I thought for sure that was a Divine Orb. Not a Breach mob. Not the Forge Breach. I repeat, not the Forge Breach. It's okay, I got another Breach though. At 62% rarity. Not the highest right now. I'd like to have more for this test, but I mean, last test I ran with like 70 anyway, so it's whatever. Oh, this set might actually be a decent position for a breach. We got ourselves an A tier Forge Breach.
Hold on.
If you can believe that. If you can conceptualize that. Nice. Forge Breach for the win. Oh, too bad it doesn't connect on the bottom. This build's not tailored for Deadeye because it's accuracy stacking. If you went Deadeye, you would probably not do that, and you'd not have the speed, or you would do like attribute stacking and partial accuracy stacking maybe, and like weapons. I mean, it's like God, I can't even get the words out of my mouth. I hesitate to call it the same build because if I were to remake this on a Deadeye, there would be like so many deviations that it just wouldn't really be the same. If you 1-for-1 this on a Deadeye, you're just gonna, first of all, you only have like 40% crit chance instead of 100. That would be like part of the result of that. And then, you know, if you ran Tangle Tongue instead, well then your attack speed's fucked. So then you go weapon swap for it while having devoted a ton of stat points for accuracy, which you don't take anywhere near maximal advantage of. Yeah. Whoa, dude! 2 red stars. I mean, you just go slower, like, unless you went accuracy stacking giga hard, and then you would do way less damage because you wouldn't be anywhere near crit cap. Or if you weapon swap with Tangle Tongue, you would have, obviously, you would have the weapon swap delay for every time you're trying to, you probably wouldn't do Call the Weak, because then you're doing weapon swap, so that's going to be super awkward. If you try to do like Call the Weak in there, and you're just going to have, damage is going to suffer. The more you invest into a certain stat that doesn't like double, okay, so the Amazon double dips, hugely double dips value for accuracy. It actually triple dips if you count the accuracy on the weapon. You get huge flat crit, huge damage from the roll on the weapon, specifically, and huge amount of attack speed, which is where the movement speed's coming from. Those 3 notables are allowing the Amazon to you know, basically get 12% flat crit for free, and like a double top tier fizz roll on a ring, effectively. Like 2 tier 9 fizz rolls on rings, effectively, is what this is. Or something like that, if you have like over 500 accuracy, or 600 accuracy, counting the implicit, I guess. After that, the Amazon Ascendancy kind of sucks. Like, the value that I get out of the other 2 is pretty low. Map's so much easier. The deliriousness is only 46% or whatever. It's like a 6 modded all upside map. 46% deli. The standard. Gold standard. Every time I drop a precursor by killing one of those cleanse mobs, I freaking crash. What's up with that? That's actually like a predictable crash. Crazy.
Light him up. My manners cadets cleared him out.
You know, gotta say, I'm pretty good at this game.
Wait.
Have you ever seen numbers look so good than that? It was like the best thing ever. I'm getting ready to defer it. Don't even have to. Don't even need. I'm not even missing anything on the last screen because it was the last screen. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I almost forgot to check that ritual too. I forgot to check it in the last map. It probably showed up again. I killed everything with that twister? Jesus.
Now there's a nice surprise.
Not everything. One mob stands on the ready. Oh god. 1 versus 1. Are you seriously leeching off of me and I can't leech off you? Not cool, buddy. Not cool. Not cool.
Now we're talking.
Surprised I don't get stunned as much. I don't have that much stun threshold. I got one huge roll on my boots, but I don't have any like gain ESs or as extra stun threshold or whatever. Hey, dude, those are some nice drops, man. Look at that. Humble stats on the map. I mean, it's basically going to be triple res. Like this one. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry, your spirit doesn't work for me. That is low spirit. I actually require second best spirit roll. Otherwise it would mess up everything. So I couldn't even use that. Nice chest though. Yes, in the low 800s with the spirit roll is how you do it. You did it. Now, Val or no balls? Ah. Okay. This mic is not so easy to drop. Hmm.
Hold on. Need a moment.
Hey, one divine orb every map?
That was almost
That's what's
done.
up. I'm gonna run out of my really great maps though soon. But for the time being, I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna take it. Might have procced a precursor on this one. What a breach, dude. Oh. Oh my god, another one. Yo, dude, yo. Feeling candy from babies right now, man. What the heck? Yeah, 4 tinks. Short time. Let's do another breach. Ah, last one. Dude, imagine if this was the big map. Ah, yeah, I got 120 quant, 180 rarity. That is a precursor proc. Excavated chest open here. I'm about to drop 2 divine orbs from these chests, guys. Okay, maybe 2 logbooks instead. What's that?
Hold on.
There's something on the ground. That's something that there is. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't care. I have more important things to do. Get every last mob that I can. No, it's an orb of annulment, actually. And 69 minus 16 breach fragments. X so cheap it's not worth showing, buddy. X is 1 divine to 300. So I will happily go on record and say, indeed, not worth picking up. Gotta feel good for the plebs out there who like picking up exalts, though, to know that a lot of people stop picking them up. Maybe they will go up in value for them. Damn, I'm a pleb. He's been called out. Uh-oh. I didn't even realize I was calling a bunch of you out. Forgive me, I didn't think there were any plebs in this chat. I thought only pros were here. I thought this was a pros-only environment.
What is it? Time is of the essence.
Yeah. 18 life. Okay. If I can combo 4 buttons and do damage to click 300 times for a divine. I can click 300 times for a divine. It's not about the annoyance of clicking it. It's the where is your time best served. Is that click to pick that item up a net positive or net negative in terms of your currency per hour? That's what actually matters. So it's obviously a lot of sort of feeling on that, but I think it's not worth it. At this point, or in general, would you also enjoy a character or build with less clear speed but nice moment-to-moment gameplay? Yes. Zooming maps is not crucial to my enjoyment of the game as it pertains to like people's visual imagination to enjoying the game. I do not need to be moving this fast to enjoy the game. I could be moving a quarter of this speed. I would still be happy. I can pull up clips of my whirlwind sprint bar in D3 moving at like a quarter of the speed I'm moving now. Or maybe half the speed. And I felt like I was going really fast. You know why I felt like I was going fast? Because I was basically going as fast as the game would let me go. That's what going fast means to me. It's not... There's no, like, benchmark speed. There's no, like, speedometer speed that I have to go in order to feel fulfilled. I just have to know that I'm playing efficiently and going as fast as the game lets me go. If that's 2x the speed, okay. If that's half the speed, okay. Like that doesn't really matter a whole lot. But I will say it's nice when you go slower because then you can incorporate more meaningful gameplay with combos and things. And that actually starts to make sense, you know, mentally speaking. It's less exhausting when we're not flying across the screen trying to combo things at the same time. That's terribly exhausting. So while some people would prefer to just get the combos out of here so they can go fast, I actually prefer the opposite. I would prefer we slow down so the combos make more sense and we can get a more fulfilling game experience. I wonder what's happening in my ES in these moments. Feels like I got hit a lot there. It was okay, I guess. Oh my god, this is... No, dude. No, this is not... No, dude. No. Nah. No, dude. A low roll Mire 10 breach map. You can't do this to me. Not like this. That's so poetic, isn't it? God. Why would you do that to me? If I see one more breach, I think it means it's a 10 breach map. And I've only scouted like half the map, so... I'm not counting that breach that I see up there, though. That one was already identified. Check out those pro moves. Heck point in the middle of the breach. That was amazing. I think that actually saved what I was doing, in part. There was no checkpoint where I wanted it, but I still used the one nearby. That was crazy. Oh my god. Well, that was so fun. I think I'll do it again. And 2 more times if I'm not mistaken.
Eye of a storm. Now we're talking.
Right. The Blessing of the Mire breach map. Something about those Mire maps. They always got the divine orbs in the least suspecting places.
Clean kill.
Got a big monkey off her back there. Been a long time since the divine drop.
The eye of a storm.
Woo. That's how it goes sometimes. What level? Level, like, I don't know, level 10? You get it in Act 1. You hard cast Frostbolt and you got Twister and Whirling Slash. This is like the best leveling build for Amazon, or like one of the best leveling builds in the game. Like, it's better as a leveling build than anything else relative to like all the other stuff out there. Doesn't have anything to do with how many people are playing it. Lightning Spear is just a trend? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Now, I did play Lightning Spear to some extent, and I thought it was just boring. I thought it was inferior to Twister, or what build I've been playing in virtually every way. The only major way it's not is that you can press fewer buttons and concentrate less. Which just feeds into the whole, like, why is the game so boring phenomenon, but, you know, it's a totally separate point. You play a boring build, get bored with the game. Congrats, you owned yourself. I mean, people probably think I sound like a broken record, but you know, until I start hearing this sentiment echoed throughout the community, I'm going to keep saying it. One button builds are actually the bane of people's enjoyment of the game when you're forced to move slower. You know, going faster isn't always the answer. Hitting the proper flow state is the answer, whether you're going fast or slow. That's where you find fun in these kind of games.
A worthy foe.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We are finishing things up. Aftermath of the farm is here. I thought I did 41 divines. 41 divines. Let me make sure in a second. I decided to track Tangle Tongues as sort of a proxy for seeing how good my unique drops are. I don't know if that's really makes sense or not. Let's see. We also got chance, or orb of chance. Actually, I've typed that in, of chance. We got a few of these. This kind of help us sort of determine how lucky I got. I think, you know, 41 divine orbs versus 10 orbs of chance is pretty lopsided, actually. And annulment tells a slightly different story. So annulment orbs supposedly twice as rare as divine orbs, so that's showing up high. It seems like I got the luckiest with annulments, and followed by divines, followed by chance. We got Chaos Orb. Let's check these, because it's going to be kind of a big, important data point. Part of the reason why I'm doing this test the third time for Take 3 is to compare each iteration. Now, my gear changes and stuff, and I actually forgot to mention this. My rarity was only 63. Okay, 63. Every single time, Take 1, 2, and 3, I had between 60 and 100 rarity, usually around 70 to 80. This time I actually had the lowest amount. I don't think it would matter that much, though. So apparently I had 331 Chaos Orbs. Let me do some calculating real quick, see where we're at on that. 40. Alright, actually first I should say what the ultimate findings were is going from 0.1 to 0.2, at least in terms of currency. Roughly a third of the currency was dropping from 0.2 to 0.1. That was where the big, you know, where's the loot kind of nerf was, and all that. Okay, and then they came out with a patch 0.2 G, I think, or F, and that increased the loot quite a bit, tiered rares especially. But the impact of rarity in deliriousness and just like rarity on monster effects dramatically improved, and that resulted in an increase, or rather a diminished decrease from comparing to 0.1. So we kind of went from a third of the loot to 2/3 of the loot after that patch overall. That had a bigger impact on the highest tier currencies, though. Like the Divine Orb saw an even bigger jump than that a little bit. And now I'm seeing a similar trend, okay? I'm seeing Chaos Orbs yet again from the previous amount of 43% increase in Chaos Orbs from Take 2. So that's almost to the point, in terms of Chaos Orbs, that's almost to the point of like the original amount of loot dropping. Maybe it actually is, because Chaos Orbs were smashed a little bit. As far as Divine Orbs, seeing an even bigger jump. I think I got a little lucky on Divines. I went from, so for Divine Orbs on Take 1, I had 12 Divines. Number 2, I had 20 Divines. And this time I had 41 Divines. So this is more than double what I had last time. I did not double the number of Chaos Orbs. So that's kind of how I think I got a bit lucky on Divines. So my Chaos Orbs are a little more than double from Take 1. But my Divine Orbs are almost triple from Take 1. So that makes me think that currency is somewhere in the realm of back to the same as it was in 0.2. The recent patch, the reason why we're doing this again is because breach monsters had a major, you know, buff. We kind of got the density back. That's basically all, I think. We just got the density back. Had a profound impact on breach. I did a little bit of cleanse mapping. My maps were pretty well rolled. I still bricked a couple because I ran a lot of 6 modded maps. You know, the really like juicy but 6 modded maps, where if you die, you lose the map. So that kind of happened in all 3 takes, even with the energy shield variant. Still, But yeah, that's where the initial aftermath of this farm is, and now I'm going to liquidate things like I talked about in the previous one with the delirium thing. This is a new trend I'm going to do. I'm actually just going to try to consolidate everything into one, or I guess in this case, with this many things, 2 dump tabs. And to start the numbers off really high, I don't think anything in here is worth more than 10 divs, so we'll just start them off like so. And then you can kind of see in the middle of all this, I'll kind of be like gambling and liquidating at the same time, and sending things through the currency exchange to try and do this entire process about as fast as I can. Okay, everybody, I am going to give you the numbers now. First, real quick, I just want to show you all the landscape is in green, a lot of green here. I mean, I didn't do exactly 100% of everything, but you can see, you can get a sense of just how far I went down on the numbers. You know, all of those 30, 40. I guess I accidentally forgot a second round seepage map here. Had decent mods on it, but, you know, who likes that layout anyway? Nobody. I did not do this Citadel. None of that was included in here. I only did one corrupted zone. It was right in the middle. These were the super premium map slots right here. We got dump tabs here, 1, 2, 3. I've liquidated as much as I can. Just kind of doing other stuff in passing. You know, I didn't get rid of everything. Definitely still some things of a little bit of value here, but I have all my liquid here on the bottom right hand corner of that quad tab. And so just to remind you, this is kind of what it looked like between take 1, 2, and 3 for Chaos and Divines. Those are the numbers there, and you can see how it kind of scaled up to, if anything, better than perhaps the original way the game was set, at least for the high-end, high-tier currencies. I think 40 Divines and 100 maps was kind of at my best in 0.1. Now, investment cost was 20.2, some extra in precursor buying, things like that. For the gross, 95.6 divines, it's all this here. And the net profit would be 75.4 divines. This was about 11 hours, okay? It was about 11 and a half hours to do 100 maps before, but characters a little stronger and faster and dying less, so shaved off about a half an hour. And that gave me about 6.9 divines per hour. This was with 0 jackpot drops. Only one lucky thing happened in the entire time, aside from maybe getting a few more divine orbs than I should have. I did, you know, at the end, I had a ton of jewels, okay? I mean, look, you can see them all here, right? This is all the jewels, okay? Obviously dropped a lot. So what I did in the middle of liquidating is, while I was taking the numbers down all the way down to 4 chaos, I started, you know, augmenting, regaling, and exalt slamming every single jewel. And I didn't even look at him. I was in the middle of lowering him. And I hit like 5 divines. And I was doing it while they were sitting at 5 divines. And then I got messages. It looks like I might have actually undersold it. It was it was a pretty crazy one. It was like double crit, presence, area of effect, and like super high rolls and something else. Spell damage or something like that. So it was like really insane jewel. And it just honestly kind of flew off the shelf there at 5 div. So that happens every once in a while, but no tier 0s, nothing like that. So yeah, I don't think I got particularly lucky for 100 maps for sure. Yeah, that's about the end of it. We've done it. Okay, I don't think I need to do 100 breach maps again on the record, at least not the exact same way. I'm kind of curious, as a sort of final thoughts to this, maybe the cleanse maps, focusing on cleanse maps and doing breach on the side. I really was focusing on breach for these farms, but I kind of like the idea of focusing on cleanse maps, like getting a decent tower setup that has a lot of corrupted zones, which I've seen before. Focusing a little bit less on the perfect tower setup and a little bit more on the blending of towers and corrupted zones, and then try to like just go crazy on quant rarity with cleanse mob packs. You see a lot of divines, a lot of unique precursors that are still worth a lot, and I'm really kind of curious about that. I'm also digging around in ritual a little bit, but that's scary when, you know, we were just talking about those volatile plants. Apparently next week they're going to nerf volatile plants a ton, and that's going to be add a whole lot more survivability to my weak sauce 1400 life pool, maybe. So yeah, that's kind of it. In conclusion, we made a lot of currency, and pretty steady, pretty strong, pretty solid, with a ton of jackpot opportunity. I don't see myself making any less than 5 div an hour doing this strat. and probably upwards of 10, 15 divid per hour when I get, some big tier 0 unique or something inside a session. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe there's some other gems in here that I haven't, for some reason, escaped everyone. But yeah, on my agenda right now is moving on to different farms and continuing to build up this ES version, and maybe make some progress on this body armor that is now about 140 divines deep with 0 progress on it. I don't know. Cross my fingers. Maybe. Gonna go buy some more whittling elements, I guess. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will see you in the next one.